If you've ever been interested in live-action roleplay and perhaps didn't know where to start, or maybe you've been partaking in the hobby for a while but have been limited to one type of genre or gameplay, and you want to expand your horizons, then I really recommend that you go to a convention, specifically for games. I think people often forget that there are conventions out there for LARPing. One of those being a LARP convention that I've gone to for the last 2 years, being Intercon. Intercon is a long-running convention put on by NEIL, which I believe stands for New England Interactive Literature. It's a 501c3 that is geared at bringing about more LARP into our spaces and communities. That's just what they do. From my understanding, Intercon hasn't always been based out of New England, nor has it always been run by NEIL, but it has been since taken over by NEIL and primarily run out of Massachusetts and now Rhode Island. The convention itself has been running, I think, for about 30 years. I know that in its current iteration and the way that it's being run now, they've been going through the alphabet. We are currently on V for voices. Next year for 2025, it will be W for, I think, Wanderlust. I have gone to Intercon before. I went in 2023, which was Intercon U. I believe that theme was Ultraviolet, and I played in 6 or 7 games. Part of that was me hopping on to games that were having people drop day of or the day before, so I wasn't exactly prepared for all of the games that I went to, but I was able to partake in some that I had not been previously planned to do. One such experience that I joined in on is called Iron GM, in which people are given a theme, a setting, a prop, and I think one other thing, and they are told, you have 24 hours, write a LARP. And then during the weekend of the convention on Sunday morning, they play those LARPs out. People vote on how they think they manage those themes and criteria given to them, and then a winner is announced and they win some money. Last year I played in one of those games, and this year I competed with 4 of my friends. If you want to know more about the whole process of Iron GM, I will be releasing a video about how that all went. I am just compelled not to say anything until after the competition has been completed, so sometime after the Intercon weekend comes around, I will tell you all about what our game was, who was involved in my team, and how we did in that competition. But that is something that Intercon does every year. I don't know how long they've been doing it for, but I know it has at least been going on for a bit. This year, much like last year, the conference is being run out of a hotel in Warwick, Rhode Island, which is set up in a way that there are a lot of large conference rooms and like convention spaces that work really well for being able to run a bunch of smaller LARPs. That said, they are a lot of rooms with just big divider walls in them, so things can get noisy in games, and that sound does spill over into some of the other ones. So if you're looking for a high immersion LARP experience, this isn't going to be it. The NEIL board has created their own sort of term for the kind of game that most primarily gets run at Intercon, and they've referred to it as lit form, which basically just means that you're most likely going to play a game that someone writes out a detailed character description for you with a role and some key goals that you're going to try to achieve throughout the run of that game, and then be let go into a room full of people who also have their own backstories and goals, and you just interact and try to complete some of those tasks. Most of that is diplomatic. A lot of it is just talking to people. Sometimes you might get objects, but for the most part, it is a pretty low lift kind of way the system is built. That's a bit of a necessity when you are working in a hotel space where there are multiple games being run throughout the weekend. But there are other ways that games are played there. There are a few boffer combat LARPs that are run throughout the weekend. And there is a Ludosport meetup, which is being taught how to, use a lightsaber and fight some people in that realm. I know nothing about Ludosport. I'm going to go to that meetup this time around, and I will learn a thing or two about Ludosport. Probably won't be very good at it. At the moment, I am signed up for 7 games for this weekend. Of these 7 games, one is a Horde LARP in which there are a set number of people who are playing characters that do not change, and the others are given short character briefs intermittently throughout the run of the game, where they are then playing different people throughout. I am playing a character that is set in stone for this one, but I'm very excited to see what gets thrown at me. After that, I'm actually doing 2 back-to-back sci-fi based games in which I am playing cybersecurity in both of them. I'm also in a sort of Mortal Kombat Street Fighter scenario where there's like a rock, paper, scissors mechanic to get us to fight. I'm really interested in how this one plays out because I haven't done something like that yet. Then I get to the heavy games in which I am playing someone who's getting kicked out of school, which is then causing their friends to perform a ritual to get rid of things from their life that they want to let go of now that they are all kind of being separated. And another one where people are meeting a devil at the crossroads and making deals about their souls. And then so I just don't leave the con super depressed, and you know, this seems to be a running theme for me now. I'm doing a craft LARP on Sunday morning. Seems good to me. Now, I can't promise I will get any sort of footage in any of these games. There are a lot of people who go to LARPs who do not like to be on film, and also I don't want to take away from the game, both for me or for them, as they are happening. So I'll probably get footage interspersed between events at Intercon, and if you want to know anything about the games, how they ran, my thoughts on it, let me know. I might make some shorts about it, I might make a longer form video, depending on how people feel. That said, I am also doing one other thing while I'm at Intercon, and that is running a panel. It's a moderated discussion where I want people to come in and talk with me and the rest of the room about their experiences. It's called Newbie to Knowledgeable, Reaching the Next Generation of LARPers. And what I'm going to do is, at the very beginning, give a little bit of an overview on marketing, ways that we can get people to know about the LARPs that we are running, the events that are going on, because there is a bit of an issue of people finding them. And then I'm going to open the floor for everybody to talk. It's a moderated discussion. I'm just going to be asking questions. I'm probably not going to pose a lot of answers, but we are going to be able to work as a group to recognize where we are faltering on ways that once people make it into the hobby, once they get to their first LARP, what is working, what is not. How can we make sure that people who are coming into the space feel like they belong there, feel like they are supported, and how do we get them there before they even make it to game and then possibly leave because it wasn't for them? You know, how are we making sure that they feel like it is a safe space where they can actually camp out in the woods? I am not affiliated with the Intercon team at all. I'm just a person who volunteered to run a panel in a creator meetup because I want to help build this community more. But if you are interested in going, I will keep the links in the description box down below, and you can find out more information both about this year's Intercon Voices and next year's Intercon Wanderlust. Tickets go on sale for Wanderlust sometime after the Intercon Voices event happens, but if you do want to go to Intercon Voices, you can usually buy a ticket weekend of for about $10. So if it's something that you want to try to drop in for because a game has an opening, or you just want to attend some panels, definitely check it out. And as always, I hope you know that your story is worthy of something to someone. Happy LARPing. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.